What up, my St. Louis City fam? I know, a long time no see, right? I mean, we in a whole new year and everything. So first and foremost, Happy New Year. It's 2022, y'all. Let's get it. So as y'all know, I'm your girl Kelly, here to give you the rundown on what happened in St. Louis City government this week, because this week was the first week of the Board of Aldermen reconvening after their holiday break. So I'm going to get right into it with a few highlights. So the first highlight I wanted to mention, so the first 6 planning areas were proposed for prioritization this week. So let me kind of rewind a little bit, because I know y'all probably like, what the hell is she talking about? So if y'all didn't know, there are efforts underway to ensure that all 79 neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis have a neighborhood plan. Okay, let me repeat that. If you didn't know, there are currently efforts underway to ensure that all 79 neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis have a neighborhood plan. Now, there are some neighborhoods, maybe a few, maybe 4 or 5, don't quote me, but maybe 4 or 5, they do have a neighborhood plan, but the rest of them don't. So, like I said, there's this effort underway through the planning folks in the city of St. Louis to make sure that all neighborhoods have a neighborhood plan. So what is a neighborhood plan? So a neighborhood plan pretty much is a guide that really, it's a guide for development. It's a guide for, appropriation of resources and stuff like that. So, yeah, neighborhood plan is extremely important when we're talking about community development. It's vital in that, because you got to have a plan before you start doing stuff, right? So this is really important. So the planning folks, so specifically, I keep saying the planning folks, but specifically I'm talking about the City of St. Louis Planning and Urban Design Agency. So they are approaching this a bit differently than they had in the past. So they're kind of doing two different things here. So first, they're making the development of these plans a more bottom-up approach than a top-down approach. So they really are being intentional about developing relationships with community members, with residents, and also, through that relationship, working with residents to make sure and to help them with developing their neighborhood plans. So something else that the planning folks are doing, they are being strategic about developing plans for the neighborhoods that currently don't have a plan. And it is a lot of neighborhoods. So obviously they can't go gung-ho and do, all of the neighborhoods at once. So their plan was to develop a strategic way on how to tackle and help the neighborhoods with getting their plans developed. So what they did is they went to neighborhood association meetings, other community events, to really get input from city residents on figuring out like how to do this. So the planning folks figured, hey, let's cluster, let's kind of work with clustering some of these neighborhoods together, and then we can kind of focus on those clustered areas to really address it in a more efficient and effective manner. So as I mentioned, the Planning and Urban Design Agency, they developed these clusters and all that using community input and all that jazz. So then once the clusters of the neighborhoods were developed, you have to prioritize where you start. So through a data-driven process, these cluster areas were prioritized based on 12 factors. And I'll be sure to provide the link that really, shows like all the factors, because it's like 12 factors, 12 different metrics. So folks can see what all of the 12 factors were. But overall, these factors fell in 4 buckets. So the first bucket, momentum, an example of that, neighborhoods that had a high level of homicides and aggravated assaults, which indicates a potential for a cure violence program intervention. The second bucket, change, and one of those factors in that bucket, neighborhoods which have recently seen or they're anticipated to see a significant amount of change indicated by building permit data, tax incentives, and or known large future proposals like NGA. So the third bucket, health and mobility. So examples of what that metric consists of: neighborhoods with high levels of vacancy and neighborhoods with limited access to supermarkets and healthy food options. And then the fourth bucket, economy. An example of one of those metrics or factors are neighborhoods which have seen an appreciable change, either an increase or a decrease, in median home sales prices. So, like I said, I'll post the link so you can view all 12 of the metrics. So, additional considerations on top of those 12 metrics when it came to prioritizing these areas, they included things such as neighborhood capacity, health disparities and inequities, and school closures. So, what did they come up with? Where's the list of the first six, the top six to be prioritized with this planning? So in no particular order, here are the areas proposed. So 1, you've got Jeff Vanderloo, St. Louis Place, Hyde Park, Old North St. Louis, Carr Square, Columbus Square neighborhoods. The second area, College Hill and Fairground neighborhoods. The third area, Walnut Park East, Walnut Park West, and Mark Twain neighborhoods. The fourth area, Wells Goodfellow, Hamilton Heights, and Kingsway West neighborhoods. The fifth area, the Ville, Greaterville, and Kingsway East neighborhoods. And the sixth area, Baden and North Point. So these areas, they were proposed for approval by the Planning Commission in the city of St. Louis. And I had to hop off to join another meeting because your girls looked busy these days. Yes. But anyway, so I wasn't able to see if the Planning Commission approved those starting points with getting these neighborhood plans developed. In the video, it hasn't been uploaded to the YouTube channel yet for the city of St. Louis, but I'll keep y'all posted to let you know next week if those prioritized areas were approved to get things popping. And please get involved in this, you guys. Like real talk, find out if your neighborhood has a plan, what's going on with that process. If you're not sure how to get that started, holla at your girl. I can really direct you to how you can find out that information. Because that's the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you on the menu. That's it. So the next highlight I wanted to mention, there's an opening at the Board of Aldermen, y'all. So yes, this week, 28th Ward Alderwoman Navarro announced that she is stepping down, and she's accepting the position of Director of the Midwest Climate Collaborative, and she's going to start her new role on January 25th, and her last day as Alderwoman in the city of St. Louis is next Friday, January 24th. So what does that mean for the 28th Ward? I'm not sure, but I'll keep y'all posted on how that vacancy is filled. And then the third highlight I wanted to mention, just some legislation to watch. So Bill 159 was introduced this morning, spearheaded by Alderwoman Tyus, which repeals in its entirety Proposition D. And then the other piece of legislation I wanted to highlight to watch, resolution number 159, also spearheaded by Alderwoman Tyus, which proposes that any new or expanded facility for the unhoused in the city of St. Louis be located in wards and neighborhoods in other parts of the city that do not have unhoused facilities. So both of these pieces of legislation were assigned to committees for further discussion, and I'll keep y'all posted on kind of how those pieces of legislation move from here. That's all I have for you this week, y'all. Please be safe out there. You'll see me soon. Peace.